And we're back live with our end of day pulse wave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports. Okay, so as you know, tomorrow is Take Back Friday. What that normally means is if the market's been up all week, you can expect it to be down on profit taking, or if it's been down all week, you can expect it to be up on profit taking. Doesn't always occur, but it does occur more often than not. All right, so here's gold. And here we are for the week. As you can see, we haven't gone anywhere. Okay. In 5 trading sessions, we have gone nowhere. 1800, like I told you before in past videos, seems to be a psychological barrier that gold is struggling with. And overall, you're just in a longer term, wide trading range, which we already know. And that's what's happening. Now, we do have an uptrend channel in effect, even though it's kind of languishing here. So at any moment, it can relock back in and start powering up again. You're in the green zone as well. So it's a possibility. But here's what we're looking like on the weekly. We're in a wide Kumo cloud. Like I was telling you, it's a wide trading range. 1850 on the top, 1700 on the bottom. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big, big trading range. All right. You're talking about like $150 range. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's wide. It's wide, man. All right. So this is where we are. Is the market going to really move from here? Not in this current dispensation, meaning this week. I don't see that happening. Not at all. It's going to continue to move sideways until it doesn't. The mega trend is the week of June the 18th on the weekly. That is the consolidation bar. And as you can see, price action has been obeying it and has not turned. So I don't have a lot of hope baked into it. So the question will be, well, is there any other kind of indicator that can give us some kind of clue or something? Of course, we got the GLD, the equity side. If you're looking at GLD, it's pretty much pricing itself just like the futures as far as the chart pattern and whatnot. So we can see that here. You can make that case. Switching over to the weekly. And it's at the bottom of the Kumo cloud on the weekly on the GLD. The GLD chart is looking a little bit more dangerous than the weekly chart on the gold futures. Now, here, $170 seems to be the Achilles heel for the GLD. Likewise, we're teeter-tottering on the edge where it could fall outside of the cloud and plummet. Not what you want to see if you're a bull. So we'll see how the market, what it does. But so far this week, it seems to be teeter-tottering, setting up for more downside next week, ladies and gentlemen, in the red zone on the weekly. I know, conflicting, but what do? You got to trade what the market gives you. Sticking with the metals, let's take a look at the silver futures right now. So $25 seems to be the Achilles heel for silver. And you can see it's in the Kumo cloud just above the trend line support. But the bias right now is to the sellers temporarily, even in the green zone. It's testing support, threatening to fall over the cliff and possibly outside of the Kumo cloud here too. But the first stop is the trend line support, then the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So it could still find support around the 2350 area. What you're seeing right now on the silver chart is here on this daily chart, August the 9th is a consolidation bar that price action for the most part has been contained within. And we can see that the market's pulling back to that area right here. Switching over to the weekly chart, what do we got? Well, again, right here, teeter-tottering on the edge. As of right now, if today was Friday, and this is the close, we would have a bona fide traditional crash alert sell signal for Sunday night into Monday's trading, meaning that next week we anticipate a big bar down. Okay, looking weak on your silver. But if we go over to the equity side, which you've heard me say countless times before, equities are a little bit better priced than the futures. We see more of a tight consolidation on the daily on SLV. And here's your trend line support. Here's the bottom of your Kumo cloud. It doesn't look as grave as the futures looks at this point in time. It just looks flat. No momentum, no conviction either way. For 3 trading sessions in a row on SLV, your support and resistance zones are pretty much unchanged. So there's not a whole lot to go on as far as that's concerned. So not giving you a lot of information, except for this gap on August the 19th. You know the price action has to fall below $21.85 to close this gap at minimum, okay? We know that that's coming. At some point, that's where we're going. That'll put us here at the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So I'm thinking that even though you're in the green zone on the daily chart on the SLV, you can't help but to see that. But if we switch it over to the weekly, we're still in the red zone, and then there's that crash alert we were talking about a moment ago. It is what it is. Can't make it up. All right. What about oil? What's up with that black gold? Well, switching over to the crude oil futures. On the daily chart, we had the crash alert sell signal last night coming into today. We got that downside production before a rally into the close. Interesting there. But we also are at the beginning of a bona fide correction cycle in this green zone. The last one we had was back here, and the market used it as an opportunity to explode. Can the market do that again? Will the market do that again? Is it looking like the market wants to do that? I'm going to say no. It's looking like the crash alert sell signals we had back here, and back here. This is what I'm anticipating. So either we can have just a 2-day thing, and like here, then the market reversed and then came down like that, or we'll have like this one where you just kept going. Trend line support at 76, around 76-ish would be the target on such a pullback. All right, what about the tech sector? Did you hear about Facebook on December the 1st of this year? They're going to change their ticker. I think it's to MCV or MVCR, something weird. They're changing their name of the company and changing their stock ticker on effective December the 1st. So I find that to be interesting. But here on the NASDAQ 100, on the daily chart, straight up, upside production, almost uninterrupted. From the rally alert buy signal on October the 5th, just straight up, up, and away you go. Interesting turn of events there. Switching over to the weekly, and you're in the green zone here too. And the correction cycle phase is over for now. Market staging like he wants to just rally up to new highs next week. Very interesting turn of events. We'll see how these markets close though, because Friday's close is going to determine a lot, and I mean a lot. Looking at the QQQ, the ETF for the NASDAQ 100 futures, pretty much similar to the futures contract itself. That's the daily chart. Flipping over to the weekly chart, almost the same, identical. So the QQQ is tracking the NASDAQ 100 futures pretty much perfectly at this point. Switching over to the Russell futures. All right, you can see here, crash alert sell signal downside production was nice, rallied up today. And the question is, where we go from here? Switching over to the weekly chart, you'll see that you got the upside production so far this week, but you're kind of flat. You pull back to last week's close, basically. It has the foundation to form a rally here, but all we're doing is just moving sideways on the weekly here on the Russell. Not getting a lot of clues there, but if we switch over to the ETF that tracks with the Russell, the ticker is IWM. What do you see? You see the same thing, but even more so. Look how long we have gone nowhere and just moved sideways, man. All right, since February the 9th of this year on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, it looks like this. Look at that. That is crazy. That is crazy. So here's your February bar, and then look all the way across here. Crazy, man. You can't make this stuff up. Look at this. All we've done is tread water all week in the Russell. All we've done all year is tread water in the Russell. Unbelievable, right? I know some of these markets are just doing nothing and going nowhere. Look at the Australian dollar. All right, so we got more upside production here in the Australian dollar today. This one is just going straight up. It's in the green zone, not looking like it wants to stop or take a breath at all. So this one is go gadget up. On the weekly, you see a little bit different picture on the algo charts. According to the algo charts, you can't really fall in love with it. You take what the market gives you, but you're smack dab in the Kumo cloud. And this Kumo cloud extends all the way up to the 78 handle and goes as low as the 72 handle. So you're looking at a 600 pip handle, 6-point handle. That's ginormous. So you're saying all of this to really go nowhere. Yep, I know. Markets are a trip sometime. What about that Canadian dollar? Is the Canadian dollar doing anything? Nope. The pullback in oil is certainly not helping, but it's doing nothing. Switching over to the weekly. And yeah, I mean, here's the crash alert sell signal. Here's your downside production. On the weekly chart, we're getting steady downside production in the beginning of another red phase right here. This right here is another red zone that's trying to build back to the daily. You had the rally alert buy signal, you had the upside production, then you're just sideways here. So if we don't get some more momentum up here soon, this is going to flip around to a crash alert sell signal, and this thing could fall over the edge at any moment. So got to be on your toes if you're trading the Canadian, this week. Here is your nat gas. All right, nat gas futures daily chart has a crash alert sell signal for tonight into tomorrow's trading. The trend line support around the $5 mark is there. Probably just going to go and close and fill this gap, and then maybe even bounce off the trend line support afterwards on the nat gas. All right, taking a look at where is it? Here it is, crude oil futures. All right, so got up here into the 80s, right? And now it's ready to come back down to 76. Switching over to the weekly. Weekly's wide open in the green zone. So weirdness there. But if you look at OIH, the ETF that tracks with that, it's showing kind of a different picture, right? Correction zone, but we're probably going to get a technical bounce back up to the 220s, low 220s. Probably fail around 225 before coming back down and taking out the 205 support. All right, even in the green zone here on the daily for OIH. And on the weekly, you already had the crash alert sell signal with the downside production. Trend line support around the $190 mark is the initial target on that one. A lot of sideways consolidation. All right, here is your GDXJ on your miners. You had the crash alert sell signal, got the initial downside production before the pause. On the weekly, you're already below the trend line support, and you had the rally alert buy signal. You got all this upside production, and now it looks like it may be pulling back. Maybe time to take those profits, and you're still in the red zone here also on that weekly. Okay, so now let's see here. Let me see. You said the CAD yen. Yeah, let me pull up the CAD. The CAD yen paused, man. It paused. I was waiting to see if it was going to do something, but it's pausing on me. I don't know what's going on with the CAD yen, man. Let's see. Let's pull it up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, here's the daily on the CAD yen. We got the crash alert sell signal, and then we got this downside production that was just kind of like hanging out. It's in a corrective zone within the green zone. Trend line support around the 89.50 is what I would see the initial target to be on this one. You just went straight on up from this rally alert buy signal from September the 22nd, and you had no pullback, no correction, no nothing. So this one should be a productive pullback, and then we'll see if the market wants to relock back in on that bullish momentum. All right, I see you, Loco. You said the Mgc Pharmaceuticals. Okay, let me pull that up for you. And good morning to all of my people in the land down under. Good morning, good morning. All right, let's see here what we got. All right. Okay, so here's your Mgc Pharmaceuticals. Oh, look at you! Look at you! You had the rally alert buy signal on. Wait a minute, what's going on here? This is not the right ticker. It's not the right data. Hold on, let me get out of this. This is wrong. This is a wrong. So hold on. I don't know why it pulled up the wrong data. Just give me a second. MXC. It's always weird pulling this one up, and I don't know why. Let me see. That's probably because it's on the ASX. All right, here we go. Okay, so you can see you had the crash alert sell signal on October the 15th, and it's just been straight down ever since. Doesn't look like it's pulling. It's going to be stopping. You are below the Kumo cloud. You're below the trend line resistance. Looks like this was just kind of dangling. It's like it fell off the cliff, and now it's like kind of like levitating, suspended in midair. And here's your red zone. So the correction phase is not over yet, at least not at this time. Switching over to the weekly, you still got the crash alert sell signal with the downside production. So you had the crash alert bearing you out on the weekly and the daily charts. I don't think it may be finished pulling back just yet. Yeah, you're right here at the trend line support. It could easily bounce from here going next week, or it could roll over tomorrow. So we'll see. You know, this is just where we are right now. Friday is going to be a pivotal day to see how the market comes out from it. Okay. All right. The next one you want to see is SVL. Let's see. That's that Silver Lakes, isn't it? Let's see what we got. Yep. Here we go. Silver Mines. There you go. Silver Mines. All right. All right, so you got flip-floppage going on here. You had the crash alert sell signal coming into today. No downside production. The market instead has flipped and given you a rally alert buy signal. All this is happening inside the Kumo cloud. And you are in the green zone. On the weekly, you got some weirdness too. You had the crash alert sell signal. No downside production. The bar went up. This is where you are. This is this week so far. It's right there. It closed right there on the trend line support. So it could fall below, or it could try to get some momentum and get back up inside the Kumo cloud. But either way, you're at a resistance area as we speak. That's where this one is. It is hanging out in a resistance zone, and it's not moving from that spot. Don't know what that's about. All right, let's see here. See another one here. Okay. IPI, is that Intrepid Potash? Let's see if I can get the data on that one to come up. Okay, yeah, this one, this is IPI, the ticker. This is equity stock. All right, we have a rally alert buy signal for tomorrow's trading on this one. It's in a correction zone. You got the bullish pointer right here on October the 25th, followed by that crash alert sell signal. You got the initial downside production before reversing, and this is where we are. So I think this one is going to try to levitate and get up to around 51-ish somewhere before either taking and testing the pointer or failing and coming back, coming back down. Trend line support's down here at 37 though. Flipping over to the weekly, you're just straight up. You've had no pullback since the rally alert buy signal on September the 17th on the weekly. It's just straight up from here. Let me make a note to myself because I'm not familiar with this particular equity. I'm going to attempt to add this to the equity report. So it should be on the next report if I can get the data to come out correctly. So let's bear with me just for a second here. All right. Okay. I just added this one, so it should be on the next report, which will be Sunday, because Friday's report has already gone out. All right. Let's see. You want to see IINN and EDU? Okay. Let's see what we got for you on this one. IINN. Okay. Yep. This is a new one for me too. I'm not familiar with this one. All right. This looks like a new equity or something because I'm not getting a lot of data for it. This is Inspira Technologies. All right, so we have a rally alert buy signal for tomorrow's trading on this one. You had this crazy bar right here from it went from a low of $2.27 to a high of $9.59. So that's an interesting one. And then it closed at the high and then came down here and opened down here. So this is a weird one. I don't know what's happening here. It's been flat all this time, basically. And all of a sudden it's trying to come to life with some flip-floppage. So this is another interesting one. I will add this. This will probably not appear on the report until we get enough data. I don't think we have enough data on this one. I normally need at least a couple of months data. So we'll see. But I'm going to add it to the report anyway. It will auto-populate once I have enough data to run it through the system. All right, so I've added that one as well. All right, this will be the last one, EDU. Let me pull up EDU. That sounds familiar. Like I've heard that one. Let's see. Got a lot of EDU. Is this New Oriental Education and Technology Group? Or is this Globalx Education ETF? I need to know. So everything is that EDU? Is that educational development, or is that the Globalx Education ETF? I need to know what that is because I have no idea. I have a couple of EDUs. New education. Okay, gotcha. All right. All right. Okay. All right. So it's the educational development. All right. So and that's on the NASDAQ, and then we have the Globalx Education ETF. So let's just be curious and pull up and see. All right. So the first one you got here, the educational development. All right. This one has been at a downtrend channel on the daily chart, as you can see, for quite some time. Well below the Kumo cloud, well below the trend line resistance. And you're definitely in a bear market. And now it's kind of like just kind of leveling out here. The bears got this thing on lock, though. It's just not coming up. We had a rally alert buy signal a few days ago on October the 26th. And we haven't really gotten any upside production. It's just kind of flat lining here. But what I will do, I'll go ahead and add this one also. Give me just a second. Yeah, data should be easy to get on this one because it's on the NASDAQ. All right. Okay. And then I found that was interesting. And we pulled it up. Let me go back because now you got me curious. Hold on. Globalx, here we go. And this also on the NASDAQ. And this is the ETF. So the stock that we just looked at, right? This is the ETF for that, the new Globalx ETF. And it seems to be very illiquid. I wouldn't trade this right now if I was anybody. You're looking at an average of, on some days, 5,000 shares, on other days, only 1,000 shares. Back in the 80s, that was the thing. If a stock had at least 5,000 shares a day, you'd be like, okay, I can trade that. That's liquid enough. But in today's market, that's hardly liquid. That's hardly liquid. Yeah, this thing is very illiquid. But I'm going to add it anyway because I know some people are going to say, well, if it has options, I'll trade it. So I'll add it. I don't know if it has options or not, but I'll just go ahead and add it because I know someone's going to ask about it. So since we're here, let's go ahead and add it. So many ETFs. There's an ETF for like everything now. All right. All right. So that's that too. All right. Let's wrap this up because I got to run. Let's finish up with the mighty Bitcoin. Here we go. Here's Bitcoin. So here we go. Bitcoin has a rally alert buy signal for tonight into tomorrow's trading. I think the market's going to try to make it back up to around the 65,000-ish level. All right, so that's what we're looking at there on the weekly. This is how it's shaping up. All right, if today was Sunday at 6 p.m., we would just establish a crash alert sell signal going into next week. Trend line support is at 40,000. So I think a dip is coming. A pullback is definitely a coming. The last crash alert sell signal back here got no downside production on September the 24th, the week of September 24th. Market just turned and rallied. So I don't know, but I would definitely see how this thing closes tomorrow. When I say tomorrow, as far as crypto, Friday for cryptos starts Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time and runs until Sunday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time. I didn't make that up. It's not my rule. That's the way they do these crypto markets. So that's a Friday for crypto. So we'll see how Bitcoin closes on Friday. But as of right now, we got the rally alert buy signal for tonight and tomorrow's trading. So you know what that is. As far as with the GBTC, like I showed you before, that's the triple OG ETF that tracks with the Bitcoin, but now they have Bido that is very young, doesn't have enough data out yet, but once it has accumulated enough data, I will have that added to the system as well. But for right now, here's your GBTC, and has a rally alert buy signal for tomorrow as well. I think it will probably lose out around $51. Somewhere ish around there. I think that's where it'll probably hit a resistance wall before pulling back. But we'll see. Hey, what do I know? With that being said, smash that like button and go to PulseWaveTrading.com. You can get your subscription to the PulseWave price trigger reports delivered to you daily on our dashboard. And we have thousands of securities, equities from around the world, futures, forex, crypto. We got it all. You can't trade without these reports. Trust me, you're going to need the information these reports give you, showing you exactly what price to buy, what price to sell. With that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Everybody have a great weekend. Peace.